November 6th, 1941. Dearest wife, tomorrow there will be the opportunity for an accelerated postal delivery, and that should be used to send you a sign of life and my greetings. I've spent the last days in my headquarters because the bad weather immobilized us. Yesterday and this morning there was light frost and sunshine, and we could move a little, but it's been snowing for the last few hours while temperatures are increasing, so that we'll soon be confronted by a new wave of mud. Today, I flew to the front, still full of confidence, but now all hopes are dashed for days, and we'll have to exercise patience again. Personally, it doesn't bother me, but it's torture for the troops and a real shame for the cause, because the enemy gains time and we get ever deeper into winter with our plans. Thus, I'm rather saddened by it. The best will founders on the elements. The unique opportunity to launch one big strike vanishes more and more, and I don't know if it will ever return. How things will turn out, God only knows. We must hope and not let our courage drop, but it's a severe test right now. I've received a nice pleasing letter from Aunt Lenny, Dora, Fritz Krieger, and Uncle Fritz Hiller also wrote. As for the rest, a huge correspondence of autograph hunters and other people. Kurti wrote from the Leningrad region on 4 October that he is well. On 4 November, 2 years had passed since your dear mother closed her eyes for the last time. On this day of painful memories, I thought of you, and particularly regretted not being able to spend this day at your side. You know the veneration and love with which I was attached to your mother, and I know how uncommonly deep your bond with her was. But it is general human destiny to become increasingly lonely in old age. We must now reconcile ourselves to this, and seek comfort in the hope that at least we both were once more brought together by fate, and that a few more years of happy and healthy life together may be granted to us, and with both our boys. Hopefully, I can soon adopt somewhat happier tones. Complaining does not come naturally to me, but at present, it is difficult to be in good spirits. Allow me, at least in thought, to kiss your dear hands and your sweet lips long and affectionately, dearest. When will I be permitted to actually do it? Farewell and be good. Your faithful Heinz. November 7th, 1941. Dearest wife. Right after I'd given my letter for you to the postman yesterday evening, the parcels from you and Aunt Lenny with your kind letters arrived. My joy was great regarding the swift message from 30 October, your loving words and the delivery. 1,000 thanks, and also tell Aunt Lenny how very pleased I was that she thought of me. I am very glad that Aunt Lenny has decided to come to you. You're now both not so lonely, can exchange thoughts and fill up the large house. Hopefully, the heating is enough for you to also be able to enjoy the lovely rooms. How I long for a tiled bathroom in the Russian dirt. I'm glad that you have little Bims again. Hopefully he'll remain healthy. I can imagine his joy when he returned home from the dog's clinic. I hope that I wrote to you about having recently received the fruit parcel. It tasted splendid. The apples likewise arrived safely yesterday, despite the frost, and they're very welcome in this country, which is low on fruit and vitamins. Kurti will surely be very satisfied to have experienced and accomplished something serious. The long wait, after all, was hardly ideal for a young officer. When you see Dora, please thank her for her letter, and ask her to pass on our regards and best wishes to Carl. The 2 roses you sent me smell wonderful. I've put them in water, and I'll try to preserve them for a few days. Many thanks for them, too. Please don't send the fur coat on to me. I have the thick overcoat from service stocks, and I hope that it will suffice for now. I've also purchased a lambskin fur lining for 77 marks, which I can have stitched into one of my coats if necessary. The fur in Berlin is actually too good for this country. In other ways, I'm also well equipped with warm things. If anything should be lacking, I'll be in touch. Our future, also regarding the winter rest, is completely unclear. At present, I have no idea what is planned. We're sitting on the isolation stool and hear nothing. The day before yesterday, Field Marshal von Bock was here for a short visit, but didn't bring anything new, just as little as one day earlier, the ever-cheerful Kesselring. We must in any case brace ourselves for a few weeks, in view of the slowness of our current movements. Patience that slowly grows, ripens late. If others die, we become a state. I often recite this work by Conrad Ferdinand Meyer to myself when I'm bursting with impatience. Now farewell for today, my sweet darling. 1,000 long tender kisses on lips and hands, and many loving words, are sent to you in thought by your Heinz. Warm regards to Aunt Lenny. She should feel right at home with us. November 12, 1941. My dear, sweet wife. Tomorrow morning, there's a flight to Warsaw, and I want to send you a comparatively quick message about how I've been. You've hopefully by now received my thanks for your last kind letter in the parcels. There has been substantial fighting over the past days. The Russians attempted to liberate Klasp Tula from a pincer movement from the southeast and suffered a serious defeat in the process, primarily as a result of the intervention of the Colonel Heinrich Eberbach Panzer Brigade, losing 3,268 prisoners, 111 guns, 14 tanks, and other bits and pieces. Then Eberbach alone captured 93 guns. I actually wanted to come home today, but I was unable to fly due to snowstorms, and now I'll try my luck tomorrow. Today's Army report mentioned the matter only briefly. Now we finally have the longed-for frost, promptly minus 15 degrees. The roads are solid, and we can move again. Thus, I hope to be able to meet the ordered objective after all. Unfortunately, I've somehow given myself an upset stomach, and I'm suffering from that and from severe headaches. Fasting for several days supposedly makes the rebellious stomach see sense. As long as I can stay in my well-heated general's apartment, I can endure anything. But if we have to change positions when operations progress, the matter will become difficult in this cold. It is not yet foreseeable, however, when we'll have to take such action. You can hopefully enjoy some culture and civilization with Aunt Lenny in our lovely apartment, and only need to think of our immediate circumstances with goosebumps. Unfortunately, it's not yet clear when we'll return. So far, it's not even been in the field of discussion. Sometimes, I also receive nice letters from subordinates. I'm enclosing 2 for you, which you can destroy after reading them. They were a treat for me in our truly serious and less than satisfactory current position. I've already answered them. Give Aunt Lenny my very warm regards. Stay healthy, both of you, and amuse yourselves. I send you lots of long, sweet kisses, my little wifey. Stay true to me and be good. Your Heinz, November 17, 1941. My dearest wife. 1,000 thanks for the 2 parcels that Rupp brought, and for your kind, detailed letter. You show much understanding and kindness for our situation out here, so that your words are always a big comfort and a true joy for me. The only benefit in these weeks, when the tremendous struggle, with all its difficulties, disappointments, and privations, is abating. In thought, I very warmly kiss your small, dear hand with thanks. We're approaching our final objective, only step by step, and in freezing cold, and with the worst accommodation for the poor troops. The supply difficulties on the railways constantly increase. They are the main cause of our hardship, because without fuel the cars can't run. Otherwise, we'd be so much closer to our objective. Nonetheless, the brave troops gain one advantage after another, and struggle through all adversities with impressive forbearance. We must repeatedly be thankful that our men are such good soldiers. I flew to the front on the 13th, 14th, and 15th, in order to visit 2 divisions and inspect some units. As I was able to deliver a number of Iron Crosses, the men were very pleased, but I gained an insight into their lives which saddened me very seriously. After my return, I was fortunately able to remedy some of the worst hardships with regard to linen and winter clothing. Yesterday, General of Infantry Gotthard Heinrici visited me, who is subordinated to the army with his corps. There are apparently also some shortages among his men, who include the Goslar Light Infantry, frostbite, lack of clothing, lice. It is still unclear what the future will bring. In view of the supply situation, we'll need them for a few more weeks, then a portion of his divisions must go to the Reich for replenishment. I don't yet know whether I'll stay here or receive another task, hopefully the latter. Leave would otherwise seem unlikely with the assignments and winter difficulties. I'm very pleased that Heinzel has received a command with the riflemen. It's the precursor to the general staff training, which, as far as I know, will start in January in Berlin. Hopefully, he'll return safely from this undertaking, so that you can send him in January into his mother's arms. I will it for you both with all my heart. The smart boy is sure to manage the thing in Berlin, and will certainly make a good general staff officer. The transfer in June was the right thing for his military development, even if he couldn't immediately see it himself. The letter will leave by airmail, so I must now close. Very warm regards to Aunt Lenny, and allow me, in faithful love, to plant lots of long sweet kisses on your lips and hands from your Heinz. November 21st, 1941. Dearest wife. Fichtner has delivered your dear detailed letter and the lovely parcel of fruit, and tomorrow he should take back this letter with my thanks and greetings. His visit and the details of the most important tank constructions was very gratifying for me and our cause, and I expect a sustained promotion of the same. 1,000 thanks to you, dearest, for your tribute and the detailed news, which I unfortunately cannot respond to in such depth as I'd like today, because time is pressing. We're having to fight very tough battles, but they are gradually developing favorably. It is going forward only piecemeal, and the demands we have to place on the troops are enormous. Their achievements are still so admirable. The matter is all the more difficult, because there is a complete absence of support from above, and I have to sort out the mess of others all by myself. Anyway, some things would go better with only some goodwill. Thus, yesterday I was on the brink of despair and a bag of nerves. Today, the unexpected combat success of the brave tank divisions provided me with a new ray of hope. Whether it can be sustained will become clear over the coming days. The freezing cold, the wretched accommodation, the inadequate clothing, the high losses in terms of men and material, the miserable replenishment of fuel turn the conduct of the war into an ordeal, and the longer it goes on, the more I become despondent on account of the enormous burden of responsibility, which, in spite of nice words, no one can relieve me of. For 3 days I was now again at the front, in order to get a flawless picture of the conditions at the front, and now, if the war situation allows, I want to go to the Army Group on Sunday to give a speech on shaping the immediate future, about which no announcement has yet been made. How the people think of this, I don't know. Likewise, how we are to get back in shape by next spring. December is now fast approaching and no decision has yet been made. Hopefully, you've received good news from the boys. I greatly regret that the eldest son of Countess Eulenburg has also been killed in action, and I will write to her. She had 2 brave, worthy sons. I was very pleased about Aunt Lenny's letter, and thank her warmly for it. As soon as I have time, I will write at length. My congratulations to Ruth on her marriage, and to Tootie on the engagement. Curtie will take hearts. He is still young and there are enough girls out there. Hopefully he finds a nice woman. Farewell, my dearest wifey. Allow me to give you a long, sweet kiss and cross your fingers that my brave men can fulfill their difficult task without severe losses. In abiding faith and heartfelt love, I am your Heinz.